Welcome back to the channel, and today we got some pretty exciting stuff to share with y'all. We got something from Original Goat, some scales for my Manix 2 lightweight. It was tough trying to decide which one of these I was going to go with. The black would probably look better, but I hate these yellow scales, so I think I'm going to put it on the Magna Cut version. So I may swap that later down the road. Actually, I just ordered the Blade HQ one with the black blade. I think I might put that one on these scales or just buy another set. But we have that to talk about and a couple other things. I mentioned these the other day and got these scales for my Axial Knives Alpine V2. They had some special fat carbon inlays available on the site. They're only a few. This is the Nebula fat carbon. I think it looks beautiful. They have one set left of the Nebula fat carbon. They have 3 sets of the Lava Flow, which I'll pop up on the screen. They have 2 sets of the Black Dunes left and 1 set of the Jungle Wear fat carbon. So if you want one of these, I would jump on it. I will have links to everything down below. And I also have a 5% off discount code is STASA05. So if you want a little bit extra off, you can use my code. You don't have to use my link if you don't want to, but that's what they look like. I think they look great. Yeah. We're going to try to install these on film. This is probably a really bad idea because I've never taken apart a Spyderco Manix 2 lightweight or any Manix. So crossing my fingers here. I'm using my Combat Beads driver, the new one, the V2. Love this thing. And this one has my T10 for the pivot. And then we're using Get Good Screw titanium Damascus driver with the T8 in it. So let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to try to keep the hardware. This is the hardware for the Original Goat scales. Try to keep this somewhat in order. So that's a pivot. And the T8. So I will say I broke these free last night, and I was like, well, let me do this on camera. That way I can show y'all my mishaps. And I can see if I lose something or I don't know where something goes, I can always watch it back. So I went ahead, whenever I broke these, I broke one side, turned it over, broke the other side. And then this is the only one you have screws on both sides. And then I broke these with, I have a heavier duty torque, something to put a lot of torque on. And that's how I broke these. Now it doesn't seem like these have a whole lot of Loctite. I did have one that was very hard. And you definitely don't want to strip these screws because it's a pain to get Spyderco to give you some new ones. So these just have the one side, as you see there, that out of here. And I know it looks like it could be a little intimidating to mess with these, but that's what I say the first time I open any knife. But I've taken apart so many knives. I think I'm decently mechanically inclined. I would hope I could be able to figure this out. And we got to take this pocket. Well, I don't have to take. Maybe so. Yeah, you do. Now, my scales that I ordered, I opted for the 3-hole pattern, Spyderco's 3-hole pattern instead of this wire clip. I just don't like the wire clip on the Manix. For some reason, I don't. Take this one off. Well, yeah. I don't think we have to, but we'll do it anyway. I don't know if that spring's under tension in the open position. I think it wouldn't be because it's pushing it forward. I'm talking about the spring on the ball cage. Yeah, and I don't know what screws. I think I need the pivot for the Original Goat scales, but I don't know about the other screws. Like I said, they give you other screws. I looked at their little fact sheet on what screws go where, but it did not make sense to me. Okay, let's see how hard it is. Actually, way easier than I expected. Get my homemade pry bar I made a long time ago for this kind of stuff. Just a piece of titanium. Forgot where I think it was actually somebody had sent me a knockoff knife, and I showed him what it was good for. And I made him a pry bar like this. I made myself one. So, okay. Try not to ruin these. That was easy. Okay. So, check that out. I got to say, I think personally Spyderco does the best FRN or whatever scales. These are injection molded, and theirs are always the most rigid, in my opinion, and they're super tough. And this is why I cut that little groove. This is what I use. As you can see, this is what I use these for the most. My pry bars is popping stuff like that out. Very handy. All right, we'll set this over here. Now this is where I need to kind of take a good look at this. Okay, so you have your standoffs here and here. Looks like you have a little plate right here. I'm guessing that's so the washer can rot underneath here, so it's not rotting on the plastic. See how they got it cut out right there? So that's gonna, let's see how tough it is to pop that out. I don't want this blade to come flying because that pivot screw is out completely. This is gonna be tough too. Well, I didn't realize to turn the camera off to do this, because after getting jacked up by the X-Acto knife thing the other day, I don't know if I told y'all that yet, because I don't know if that video came out, but decided I'm gonna play it smart and, you know, try to lead by good example. Tape the cutting edge off so I don't cut myself. And this is the little tab, and this is the washer. Okay, it's just sitting on there. Okay, and let's see how this works. You have a coil spring on a little rod, and then there should be a ball. Okay, Spyderco has their bushing pivot in here. You can see there. And yep, see if I can show you this. So you have the little cage right here that has a little rod that goes into the coil spring, and then you see right there you have a, looks like a steel bearing or maybe even ceramic, I don't know, it looks black, can't really tell. And as long as this portion is underneath here, it's captured. There you go. We're going to pull the rest of this off. So once again, I popped this out right here and then pulled this down. This is how the other one looks. It's got this clamshell portion. All right, so here's the scales. I went with the groovy texture. I don't remember picking this texture. I think I was worried that they were gonna sell out too fast, so I just, whatever one it was on, I just went with. I think they look good though. They're clamshell, as you can see. So you don't have to have a backspacer in there. And Original Goat just does impeccable work. I own several of their scales now. If you're on their site and you're wondering what the stone finish or the buffed finish, the brighter one like this is your stone finish, basically a stone wash finish. Your buff is like on my Hogue Ritter, where it's like a more matte look. So this is like a blasted look, a bead blast or something. And this one has like shiny texture. I prefer the shinier one. If you like them more subdued, then you go with the buff. Here's another, here's the shiny texture on, I like this texture. I have an affiliate link to Original Goat, so if you plan on buying some scales anyway and you want to help support what I do here in this channel, that's awesome. If not, no big deal. I also have a code, a 15% off code. If you use code STASA23, you get 15% off. I own probably I own like 5. This will probably make 6 scales from them. Love it. I forgot, these took, I don't know, maybe whatever the lead time is on them. They usually give you a lead time, 3 to 4 weeks or something like that. I think they may have some that are already available. I don't know. As you can see, I went with a 3-hole pattern right here. Who knows of a good 3-hole pattern clip that fits the Manix without hanging over the backside? I'm going to put my razor edge clip on there because I love the way this one, there it is, razor edge knives. I love the way this one performs. So I'm going to put that one on here, but I don't think it's going to look the greatest with the dark gray with that. I might see if he has a regular, something like closer to this. But if anybody knows a clip that functions well, it doesn't have to be deep carry for the Manix 2 with the 3-hole pattern, let me know down in the comments as well. Let me see if I can get this thing back together now. They even put the keyed holes there so it doesn't spin, because you have that on this side. Put those back in. Their tolerances on their machining are top notch. Everything's always so tight fitted. Okay, so we got those 3 standoffs in there. I guess you put it in here. Make sure it's fitting nice. See there. Gotta remember I got these standoffs in here. I can put them back. Okay, see there's a little groove there. Should fit perfect. Yep, fits perfect there. Now I can screw this screw in there to hold that section in. Don't know. Okay, so for now we got that one in there. All right, so we got that part in. Okay, I did this not on camera because I didn't want it to go flying, but you put the cage in there first, and then you slide the spring underneath here and then kind of push it forward and then lock it into that little spot. Now I'm going to put this screw back in to hold it into place. Let me show you the one other thing that I did not mention too. Whenever you put the cage in there, there's a little track in the middle of the cage right here. You got to make sure that that track is, see it right here, straddling this thing so it's not pushing too far in one direction. Error number 36. Put the ball in before you do all the stuff I was just talking about, but now I can at least show you. See how they got the track right there in the middle? Then it has to go in between this. I'm holding the spring so it doesn't go flying. Now you can kind of put that in between the little bar like I was saying. And then with this finger, I'm going to slide it into place. Can't see. Okay, there it goes. Okay, it's back into place. Now I'm keeping my finger over that spring just so I don't know if it can fly. I don't know if it's captured yet or not. Here. Okay, that'll hold that into place. Now, I'm going to use this to center that up. Boom, perfectly centered now. This is always fun, making sure that pivot bushing is in the right orientation so it can fit into the keyed slot. But let's see if I got it right this time. All right, that was just luck. So it went into the keyed slot. Now we're locked in position. Now I can go ahead and put, okay, spin that around, distribute the oil. Then we got to put this little thing back in place. It's also keyed just like, there you go. Now put this back in here. Boom. Okay, now I'm gonna try to keep my fingers on these. And I need to put that one back in too. Contained. Okay. I figured let those pop out. I'll put them in after the scale. Hopefully that won't matter. Look at that. Tight fitment. Just like all my original goat scales. Put the pivot on both sides. Now we just gotta make sure we have all the right screws in the right spots. And let's pop these back into place. And this one goes here. You heard the nice click going through the other side. And this one goes here. That's my T10. That's what I like whenever they, don't get me wrong, I'm glad they're using big hardware for the, T10 for the pivot, but I like whenever they keep it consistent, like all T10 or all T8. Let's see where it bottoms out. These are the ones I'm not sure about whether they're gonna fit or not. Oh, I love that it pulled it in nice and tight. That one fit. And if you're asking why wouldn't you just buy one of the G10 Manix 2s so you didn't have to change scales if that was the problem? Well, the cool thing is the lightweight. You can get these, a lot of exotic steels like Rex 45 or steels you don't see in regular Manixes unless they're expensive. Like I have the M4 Manix coming from Blade HQ, and I'm either gonna buy me another set of scales or slap it in this one. God, this look good. Okay, so we're gonna go, like I said, with this clip. This is from Razor Edge Knives. Okay, so they give you these three. The shorter screw has to go here, I'm sure, because it's not going anything. These two screws are actually helping cinch down these scales. The two longer ones here, and look, they've coated them black just like the rest of it, just so it matches. They also have some silver ones, I guess, if you want to go silver, if you're to match pocket clip. Right now we're going to go black. Like I said, y'all please let me know what clip do you use for your Manix. I think there's an MXG gear clip made for it, like a deep carry one. I just don't want it hanging off the back end. Let's see how it fits up. Yes, indeed. Okay, definitely don't want to over tighten these too big. Well, you don't want to over tighten any of them, but it's going into aluminum. Well, not into aluminum. Hold on. I remember looking at it before. It's got a brass female end installed in there. So you're still not going to want to over tighten these. You don't want to strip that because then you'd probably have to send it back to them. I don't know. But you don't need to over tighten it. You could put Loctite if you're worried about your screws coming out. From my experience, their tolerances are pretty tight. Y'all let me know if y'all like to see these type of videos. I know there's, you know, a few channels that do this as well. I'm gonna try to do it here and there when I got stuff like this. Hopefully y'all enjoy it. I'm not going crazy with the tightness. I'm just barely pushing. So there we go. Let's take tape off and we'll come right back. Here she is with all her glory. We took the tape off and let's see how that action is. Let's see. Nice. And perfectly centered. Let me see. No play. Man, they feel it's so solid. Yeah. Let me know what y'all think. The razor edge clip on there. These work so well. Like I said, we'll have a link to Original Goat site down below. Here's some of my other scales that are nearby. Love the 80/20 scales. The Ritter in the buff pattern, mini Ritter with the stone pattern. Just a remarkable job once again. Don't forget to use code STASA23 for 15% off on your scales. USA made. They make aluminum and titanium. Some of the best scales in the business. So there you go. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave those down below. I hope everybody's having an absolute amazing day. I will see y'all on the next one. Peace.